that seems to be causing a lot of political ripples in the state. Are you aware of this?
Well, to be candid, I'm not aware of it, but I heard about it. I cannot pretend not to have heard about it, but I saw a denial from a special assistant media just some few days ago on the same subject. But of course, the rumor is all over the place that he has an anointed person already. But that much he has not communicated to me also.
I mean, when was the last time you talked to him?
That must be about a week ago. A week ago.
So, I mean, everybody knows at this point that you're also in the running for the governorship of the state. I mean, is it something that you...
Well, I'm not in the running. I've never been in the running for it, and I'm still not. I'm not disposed towards it. No, I'm positive. From the sector, I've always said it's not something that is attractive to me generally, honestly.
What's attractive to you? I mean, everybody knows you to be a political, senior of the Bola Tinubu.
Yes, very correct. I won't deny that, but to be candid, what is of uppermost interest to me right now is my elevation to the SIC position within my profession.
That's the senior advocate?
Yes, that is what is uppermost in my mind now, as far as I'm concerned, and that is what have engaged me seriously in the last 3 years now, and working hard at it.
So, I mean, isn't it more important to be a governor than to be
I don't believe so. I believe to be a senior advocate, apart from the fact that the other one is transient, senior advocate of Nigeria is permanent, and within our own context, it seems even cleaner to be a senior advocate and engage in your professional practice than be in that other region.
But would you say that you are known more as a political operative than as a lawyer? I mean, with due respect.
Yes, you are very correct, to be candid, because maybe, I served the state for 12 years running without a stop. So, to a large extent, a lot of people seem not to even know me at all as a lawyer. In fact, at times when I appear in my regalia, I start wondering, so you are a lawyer? I'm a lawyer, particularly when I never really served in the Ministry of Justice. I served in the Ministry of Transportation and Environment, which has nothing substantially to do with law. So there is that confusion in that. And secondly, is the fact that I tell people in most instances that I'm a professional in politics, not a professional politician, because I continuously recognize the fact that I'm a lawyer. And even while I was in government, I continued to write and publish articles along that direction. If you recall that, even if you look at my pedigree, I was lecturing UNILA at the University of Lagos Faculty of Law before I even went into government.
Did you go back?
Not at all. I'm into full professional practice now.
So would you think this is appropriate for, if it were to be true, you find out one day that the Senator Bola Tinubu has actually anointed a candidate to be governor, would it be right in view of the fact that people feel that overbearing?
Well, first and foremost, I would say that as national legal advisor of that party, there is a procedure for the emergence of candidates in the party, and that I will expect to be complied with. Honestly speaking, even if he does that, I will not quarrel with him, because I can also wake up tomorrow morning and anoint anybody I like. Anybody can anoint anybody, but the reality, but the reality is that there must be primary, through which the entire membership of the party determine who they want as their candidate. You can anoint from now till eternity. It doesn't necessarily mean that that person will ultimately emerge through the formal process of nomination.
Yeah. If you say you don't have much interest, and this will be my last question, you say you don't have much interest in the governorship, and actually it's no big deal to you. Let's put it that way.
It is not.
If you are anointed, so to speak, if the Godfather say, Muiz, is your time to go, because you know where all the drainages are in Lagos. You've established a lot of things. You're well known for, what you did as commissioner.
To be candid, I don't believe in anointment to start with. Even if I'm interested, I will be prepared to test my popularity within the fold of the party first. Okay. It's only because the truth of the matter is that one man cannot be a foreman. Yes. It is the party member that will go out ultimately to campaign for that candidate. So if they don't believe in that candidate from inception, they are not that popular, then it becomes extremely much more Herculean to achieve your target. But if you are generally endorsed by the greater membership, then you have no problem in the system. So I will rather prefer that I subject myself to the popularity test of the membership of the party rather than being anointed solely by an individual.
one question that's unrelated to this, your profession, is that as a very, very conscious lawyer, somebody who also has some human rights pedigree, and perhaps, you know, an African person traditionally, what do you think about lawyers still wearing wig in Nigeria in 2004? Something that's a symbol of colonialism, you know? I mean, wouldn't it be better if you wear, you know, Fela Aja to court than to be wearing, you know, the grey hair of the British lords?
To be candid, I'm indifferent.
Yeah?
I'm indifferent. The suggestion is attractive to me, and I'm
British
comfortable with it. Even in some areas, they've gotten rid of it. In some jurisdictions, America don't wear it. I was watching the proceeding in this guy's case, Oscar.
Yeah.
Recently, they were not wearing in South Africa, and unfortunately, our own situation is even more precarious because most times there is no light in the court. Yeah. So we are sweating it out in suits, sweating it out in the wig and gown, everything, suffering ourselves and smiling there. So it won't be a bad option at all if we have to revert to something. But what to me must be critical there is the fact that it must be a uniform in one form or the other, so that today this one does not wear a flowing babariga, this one tomorrow wear this one. So that might not be too tidy and decent for the profession. But if you say we are all going to be wearing suit, let us be wearing suit, a form of identification to say these are members of the bar.
All right. Now that you say you are APC national legal advisor, what are the chances of APC in the next election? Because this seems to be a new party, and, you know, it seems like you guys are very defensive about everything going on in the country. It doesn't even seem like you have a candidate in mind yet, and elections are just a few months away.
Well, I believe that we have a very good chance. It's quite optimistic about it, but the challenge is, of course, ultimately how we are able to manage ourselves, which is going to be a great challenge. I won't deceive myself and I won't pretend about that. It's how we eventually succeed in managing ourselves. For example, are we going to impose a candidate on others? Are we going to go through popularity tests? Or who is the person that is even likely to emerge? What are his pedigree? Who is he? And what are our own calculations? Because if at the end of the day you bring out a candidate that the people just look at and say between two devils, it's better to retain the one we have known than this one, then we are doomed. So we have to be objective, we have to be strategic, and we have to consider a lot of factors before we go into it.
Thank you so much, Barrister Muiz.
My pleasure.
Yeah.